Jesus is the most influential person the world has ever seen. The oldest book telling the story of Jesus is the world's all time bestseller. It's been translated into more languages than any other book.
One night in high school, lying awake with depression that was caused by deep family pain, I decided to open a Bible for wisdom. And what I thought were random verses, God used to influence and change me.
There was a moment in my life when I could not see my way. I was lost and it was all blurry. But God's word became a pair of glasses to me and helped me to see where I was and where I needed to go.
Jesus has been called history's greatest teacher. He turned the world's thinking upside down, saying, the way to win is lose, the way to get is to give, and the greatest is the servant of all. So love your enemies, turn the other cheek, and do to others as you want them to do to you.
In the past, I was center focused on my life. I did pretty much everything without thinking God or Jesus. But now I do everything with Him for Him.
I used to question how God felt about me. Did He really care about me? But then He taught me that He's like a shepherd, and He comes looking for me, even when I'm distant and running away from Him.
Countless works of art, music, and literature, including many masterpieces, were inspired, written, and drawn about Jesus, more than any other person.
I had so many questions about life and what was my purpose. It made me depressed. But Jesus changed all that. He has filled all my life with meaning.
At a point in my life, I was questioning why I should try anymore. I only saw my failures and saw no point to stay alive. But Jesus showed me an amazing, bigger purpose.
Most of the world's oldest schools, hospitals, and orphanages were started by Christians, inspired by Jesus' teaching to be good Samaritans and care for the least of these. He said every person has value.
In my past, I was alone like an orphan. I felt like no one understood me. But Jesus became my eternal companion who knows and accepts me completely.
I was born in Ethiopia, and my dad died when I was young, and my mom could no longer take care of us. But God, suddenly and beyond my imagination, gave me both a physical and spiritual family.
Followers of Jesus continue to be the leading force in charitable giving and missionary activity worldwide. But Jesus is not just the world's most influential historical person. He is changing the lives of people today.
He changed my life at age 14 back in Italy. I felt like I did not have much value. When I was about to give up, Jesus opened my eyes to the truth that He gives great value to my life.
Because of Jesus, I made the decision to give up my comfortable job, move halfway around the world, completely out of my comfort zone. And He's been with me all the way.
10 of Jesus' disciples were persecuted and martyred for believing and teaching Jesus is the only way to God. Even today, more religious deaths happen because of belief in Jesus than for any other reason.
When I was younger, I rejected God and cursed lots of His followers. Without Jesus, I'd still be an alcoholic and probably would be in prison. But He changed me into a completely new person.
When I struggled with depression and mental health issues after 5 members of my family died, Jesus provided the resources and strength for me to overcome.
Jesus multiplied Himself and created the largest movement of disciples in human history. Today, 32% of the world identify as followers of Jesus.
Before I met Jesus, I was a pleasure seeker and fame chaser, but I grew tired of one thing after another. It all left me empty. But Jesus filled all that with purpose and contentment.
Honestly, Jesus has been the main number one influence of my choices of education and career and marriage. I think about and talk about Him almost every day and seek to influence others to follow Him. So I can say my greatest joy is watching him influence and change the lives of people.
If you are interested in how Jesus could do that in your life, click here